How we all feeling today? We all get triggered, and triggers are deep rooted in trauma, bad past experiences, pain, fear, anxiety, depression. Our triggers lie in the part of the mind that instantly reacts or instantly changes in mental states. You can't remove yourself from every triggering situation, and that's unfortunate. A lot of the time, triggering situations are a test of our strength to see how far we have overcome that pain or that deep hurt. And that's the thing, we are triggered when we are traumatized. Being triggered and being traumatized go hand in hand, because if you were heavily traumatized in your past and you are put in a similar situation as your trauma, you will feel triggered. If someone even speaks about it, triggers can go very deep and they can vary in intensity. You can have very reserved triggers so you don't get triggered too easily and you're able to manage it okay, or you get triggered very easily, like if someone just speaks about it, then you're triggered and then you want to run away. But in order to be strong and successful human beings, we have to face our triggers. We have to face our traumas, because the more you repress trauma, the more it will fester in your psyche in the dark. Whatever you hide or don't pay attention to will eat you up eventually. And it's important that you understand that yes, everyone gets triggered by something. Sometimes it's a combination of things, and it's just a lot of things, and you're overwhelmed and you're overstimulated and you're stressed and you're anxious, and just one thing triggers you and you completely lose it, and you completely lose all sense of emotional regulation. And sometimes it happens. We are human beings. We cannot control our emotions all the time, but we need to regulate them better. It's important that we learn how to manage our triggers. So manage the intensity. Don't let your triggers be incited by such a small event or small situation that doesn't really affect you. It's about trying to reduce the intensity of the triggers and the frequency of the triggers, that you're only actually triggered when you are put in that situation again. It's got a lot to do with emotional regulation and how we manage ourselves, our reactions, and our emotions. Because if you're very emotionally fragile, you're going to find it very difficult to manage your triggers. And that's what the most important thing is for managing triggers, is emotional regulation. To backtrack, what are you feeling? Why are you feeling like this? And to not allow your feelings and your emotions to consume you in great volume completely. Sometimes we just have to endure. Sometimes we just have to ride the wave. Sometimes we just have to deal with it. And you can go cry later. You can go throw your fists at the wall later. But in that moment, try to compose yourself. Try not to react. And then it's fine if you let the emotion out on your own or later or with someone you can trust. That's fine. But focus, really hone in on managing how you respond to your triggers. Because a trigger only becomes a real reaction when we respond to it in a negative way. If we see a trigger as a threat, then we will react emotionally and most likely negatively. And that's why it's important to focus on not acting on your triggers. because the more you act on your triggers, the more triggered you will feel. And then resist the urge to fight or flight. Resist that cortisol spike, and rather deal with the situation to desensitize your triggering emotions, because the more we deal with it, the less it will affect us. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.